Hey, what's up YouTube? Michael Unbroken here. I wanted to take a minute and just say thank you all so much for the love, the comments, the subscribes, all of the support. I'm going to continue to make videos, and I just wanted to say, even though I'm only at a handful of subscribers, it means a lot that you guys are willing to look at what I'm doing, and I appreciate the comments and I appreciate the love, and I hope that you'll stick with me as I continue to grow this travel, as I travel and do the things that I do. Right now I'm on my way to have dinner with a random person that I randomly met at a random event that I didn't plan on going to, who's from my home city and hometown. Super wild, out here in the middle of nowhere, Chiang Mai. I'm gonna post a video here on the back side of this about how I saved money and made money to get ready to come to Chiang Mai during my last 3 months being in America. So I hope that you'll take some time and check that out, and that you guys have an awesome evening, and I'll talk to you soon. I think that one of the craziest things about going on this adventure is the idea that I might not come back to America. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm super excited though, so we're gonna see. But it's crazy, this is like literally all my stuff, and I didn't think I had that much stuff until I started putting it all out here, and then I realized, like, holy crap, like I have a lot of stuff. So I am 30 days away from my adventure of traveling the world, something that I've always wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. You know, it's my biggest fear, and I don't want to live life with regrets, and I decided that the best thing to do would be to face that fear. And to do that, I figured I'll put as much stuff as I can into my carry-on bag, and whatever doesn't make it can't go. So this here is everything I own. All this stuff, like all this shit, like who needs this much stuff? No one needs this. Like I don't need 15 shirts. I don't need those records and 12 pair of shoes and all those things. What I need is experience and to enjoy life and to go out in the world and see what happens. So I'm super excited about that, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Over the past couple of weeks, I've received a few requests to talk about how I was able to start traveling the world. I'll save the working as a digital nomad for later. Now I want to talk about what I did leading up to leaving America. A few months ago, I was sitting in my home in Portland and decided that it's time to do that thing I've always wanted to do, and that's to get out into the world. Like most of you watching this video, my number one concern was how do I afford to do that? It hit me that in my home, I had a ton of stuff that I could sell. I took a second job, and I did as much freelance work as I could for various clients. I started looking at every single way that I could dedicate all of my available time to making money before I left. Let's talk about tip number one. Stop spending money. If you are spending money on things that are not necessary, you need to stop. If you are buying $5 Starbucks drinks, if you are eating dinner at restaurants every night, or if you are buying arbitrary things like clothes, shoes, or movie tickets, then you need to ask yourself if traveling is really something that you actually want to do. If you are wasting money, you'll never be able to do this. You need to start keeping a budget and looking at the expenses that you have that you can eliminate. Think about it like this. If you spend $5 5 times a week on coffee, that's $25. If you do that over a month, that's $100. If you do that for a year, that's $1,200. My flight to Chiang Mai, my entire first month of rent in my Airbnb, my scooter bike rental, traveler's insurance, and a few various necessities all cost me less than $1,000. So based on what you spend on coffee in 1 year, you could save enough money to spend a month in Thailand. Number 2, if you have extra time in your day, you need to consider getting another job or 2 or 3. Yes, that concept sounds exhausting, and it can be. For the last 3 months before leaving, I worked another job on top of having freelance clients, which I help with marketing and branding, and my regular day job. I was working 100 hours a week for the last 3 months. I was also spending time making sure that I took care of myself by eating well, hitting the gym, and eating right. I should probably say sleeping well, hitting the gym, and eating right. It doesn't do a lot of good if you have an extra job if you're too sick or too tired to work effectively. If you're spending time wondering why you can't travel and you're watching 5 hours of Netflix, or you're going to the bar all night and hanging out with your bros, then you're not going to be able to do this. Now, like Oprah says, live your best life. This is just what I did. And having a second job doesn't have to be a long-term commitment. It can be something to get you to the goal that you're trying to reach. Number 3, research the value of what you own. I'm dead serious about this. In your home right now is $3,000 to $7,000 just sitting around on your shelves that you never use. Take a full inventory of everything that you own and decide if it actually brings value to your life in any way. Think about it like this. If you're out and about in the world, do you really need 200 books, 500 records, 35 pairs of shoes, 20 purses, and more pots and pans than you know what to do with? Probably not. Now this is where it gets tricky, because you have to decide if you want to travel long term or just to get away for a few weeks. The reason that I decided to sell everything is that I want to do this for the long term. Right now it's 1 year, but it could be longer. I have no idea, and getting rid of all the crap has given me a strong jump off point. While I do consider myself to be a minimalist, I still had hundreds of dollars in records and books and clothing just sitting around. So I went and cross-referenced everything that I was willing to part with on eBay, Amazon, and Facebook Marketplace to figure out what I could sell it for. You cannot sell used items for full market value, but you can get really close. Take your time and research. Number 4, this is where it starts to get real. Now that you've researched everything that you own and put a value to it, it's time to sell everything online. There's a multitude of ways for you to sell things online that you own, but I'm going to tell you about how I did it. The number one thing that I used to sell my stuff was an app called OfferUp. With OfferUp, you can sell what you have in your neighborhood and across the country. You can take pictures, create descriptions, and also get your profile verified so that you can instill safety when you're going to meet people. This is also helpful from my end as a seller because I want to know that I'm meeting people who are also safe and verified. As with anyone that you encounter from online, make sure that you meet them in a public setting and do your best to not allow strangers in your home. If you ship items, OfferUp does take a 7% fee. If OfferUp is not available to you, there is likely another app that you can use that is very similar. I found that this app works more effectively than Craigslist, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace combined. I also want to say that I'm not affiliated with OfferUp in any way. I just found them to be the best option for me. I also use those other outlets because I wanted to canvas as many avenues as possible. I started planning out what I should sell when, based on what I thought was going to be the hardest items to sell. Things that aren't generally common, I started listing first. Those items that didn't sell, I donated. Selling my stuff online and meeting people in public places was hands down the most important thing that I did. That said, you could still do this and put some things in storage. This makes sense if you have other things that you're definitely not willing to let go of, but you have to decide that. The final thing that I did was to go old school and have a garage sale. Garage sales have and always will be a way that you can make money, and chances are your neighborhood is having one right now. For 3 weeks in a row, I went and plastered my area within a half-mile radius with signs that I made with materials that I bought from the dollar store. I also used Craigslist to promote them and Facebook Marketplace. So just like the individual items that I had on those sites, I also listed my garage sales. One of the things that I found most interesting about having a garage sale was the people who came and talked to me. A lot of people asked why I was having a garage sale, and I told them that I wanted to make money to travel the world. I was surprised about how many people had actually done the same thing that I was doing. I also had some people give me recommendations, and one gentleman even gave me a Thai translation book because Thailand was the first country that I was coming to. Now, this is also a great way to meet neighbors and connect. I even met a couple that blogs and travels the world as vagabonds. There are even more ways for you to save money and to make money and to go and travel the world. These are just what I did because I found them to be the most effective. If you have tips for other people or questions, please leave them down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. I hope that you guys have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon.